What is up, guys? It's your boy Nick Torius, back again with another video. Make depression funny again, right? Let's talk about it. Like the video, comment below, subscribe if you're new. Let's get into it. Depression, right? What's funny about depression? There's nothing funny about it, right? There's nothing funny about depression. I be depressed all fucking time, right? I woke up depressed, right? But honestly, it goes away. I feel like the worst depression is when you wake up, right? Like when you just wake, like I don't know, for some reason I just wake up depressed as fuck every day, right? It's so weird. Like I think the reason why is because I think the reason why I wake up depressed every single day is because sleep feels so fucking good, right? Like it feels so nice to sleep. Like the thing is like when you sleep, it's like, okay, I'm up in the air, I'm up in the sky, right? Like I love sleeping. And I feel like when you have such a high, like it's because life is in waves. It goes high and then low, high and then low, high and then low, right? And the thing is like for me at least, like sleep is like a high, right? It's like, okay, it's the end of the day, it's time for me to go to sleep, right? Because especially if the day sucked, like if I had a really hard day or a very working stressful day or whatever, then going to sleep is like the best part of the day, because sometimes I wake up like, fuck, I want to go back to like 12 more hours so I get to go to sleep again, right? I remember when I used to work at FedEx, I had to wake up at like 4 in the morning. And what happened was, you know, like when you wake up at 4 in the morning every fucking day, like you just wake up wanting to go to sleep, like, oh, how much more hours till I go to sleep, right? I feel like that's why we get depressed a lot, is because we sleep. Like sleep is a good feeling. Like it feels like it feels good as fuck to sleep, right? So guess what happens when you feel like when you get those highs? You have to come down and get to be baseline. So for me, sleep is so good that I just wake up suck, right? Like waking up sucks again, right? But yeah, what is funny about depression though? Because what happens with depression is that it's kind of an easy thing to get out of, right? It's not that hard to get out of depression. Like honestly, like I always like comic about journaling, but you know what? Journaling is actually very good for getting rid of depression. I don't feel like it's good for like I mean, I guess, because confidence is like a little high, is a lot higher than being depressed, right? But you know, just getting your mind off of dumb shit, right? Because I feel like the reason why we get depressed is because we have a bunch of problems in our lives, right? There's a bunch of problems, and we understand we have these problems, but then we're like masking them with things, right? Like that's why I stopped masturbating, because when I would fat or whatever, I would fat, and then like it would be a high for me, right? It's like, like the ecstasy, right? But then like after that, it's like a high, like, because you can't, that's not your vibe, right? Like your vibe isn't ecstasy all the time, so you're gonna have to come back down to your vibe. And the come down, it's like coming down so fast, right? It's like when you see the energy, it's just like, wow, I don't give a fuck about nothing, right? Like I don't care about shit, right? Like it's like all your motivation, all your ambition, all your everything that you understand. Like that's what I feel like, that's what happens with weed. It's like all that shit goes away, right? All that shit just like fucking dies. I mean, I feel like, yeah, like it fucking dies, right? So how can we get out of depression? You know, journal, get all that shit out of your mind. Just watch funny movies, I guess, right? I feel like watching funny things is a good way to get out of depression. Like watching funny things, talking to friends, what else? Exercise, that's the biggest thing, right? Exercise, like it's funny because I remember before I got my heart broke, I would always laugh, right? Like I would always laugh at people. Like it's always easy when you're not going through it, right? It's always like for me right now, I would be like, oh, if you're depressed, let's go exercise, let's go work out, right? That's why I work out every day, because the thing is, it's like when you're committed to working out every day, then even on those days that you're depressed and you don't feel like working out, you already know, okay, I made this commitment, so even though I'm depressed and I don't see a point in working out, I'm just gonna do it anyways. And then what happens is that when you do it anyways, you feel better, right? because depression is just a feeling in your body, right? It's just your body feeling this because you're so scrunched up, you're so like stressed out, I guess, right? Like I feel like being stressed is a combination of being sad and depressed, right? Sad, depressed, stressed. It's like in the middle of being sad and depressed. So then you're stressed, right? But it's just like don't get depression wrong, confused though, because there's depression and then there's apathy, right? Like depression, I feel like is like when you're sad about shit, right? Like, oh, I'm depressed, my life, I live in America, my life sucks. All right, I got bills to pay, I don't have government support, whatever. You know, when you're depressed like that, that's depression, right? But then when you have apathy, I feel like apathy, it's like that numb feeling, right? It's like that feeling of, damn, there's no point in doing anything, right? Like I feel like that's why you gotta that's why you have to have commitment and you have to have motivation, right? Like, not just motivation. It's not motivation. It's commitment, right? Like you need to have motivation because there's times when you don't see the point, right? Like let's say you're working out and your goal is to lose like 50 pounds, right? Your goal is to lose. Your goal is to get a 6-pack. You want to lose 50 pounds. You want a big butt or whatever. But you're working out for 2 months, 3 months, and you don't see shit, right? Like you don't see any type of results whatsoever. So you're just like, damn, what's the point? Like, what's the point of doing it if I'm not gonna see no results, right? Like the same thing with when you're trying to like do things to make money. Like right now, I'm not making no money with these YouTube videos, but you know, I know the potential, right? I know that the potential, but I know the potential is there, right? The potential is coming. So you have to just stick it out, right? Like you just gotta stick things out. That's why I preach it. Go to the gym every single day, no matter what, because you're not gonna feel like it. You're gonna feel depressed. You're gonna feel like, damn, I don't see a point. So just go anyways, even if you don't see a point, because you're still adding, right? Like if you keep adding 1 + 1 + 1 + 1 + 1. It's gonna eventually equal 3,186. You feel me? Like it's eventually gonna equal that. So that's why those things it's important to do that, right? It's important to I just thought it was really funny, but it's always important to just do things even if you don't, you know, see the point, because eventually, like, yeah, the point isn't today, the point is in 3 months, the point is in 4 months, the point is next year, right? The point is coming. You just gotta walk, right? It's like if you're walking, let's say you're walking down like a trail, right? And you just stop in the middle of the trail and you're like, oh, I don't see the point in walking the rest of it. You're still gonna have to walk back, right? Like you're gonna have to walk back anyways. You might as well finish the whole thing. That's pretty much what I wanted to cover in the video. Like the video, subscribe if you're new. If you're depressed, comment, say, oh, I'm depressed, and what you did to get out of it, because I feel like this video is just like a catalyst, right? It's like I make the video and you guys comment and then you just say, you know, your experience, like how did you get out of the depression? Like what's the best way to get out of depression, right? Subscribe if you're new, and I'll comment on ask me, follow me on Instagram at Torius, ask me for interviews, and I'll make another video talking about your question. So I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.